Yeah, we're here with second half of Amstrad Action, issue number 63. We've still got more than 50 to go. Anyway, where we left off, we're next looking at Platinum. It's a compilation, which has one game that we haven't played yet. So let's have a look at that first. So we've got Platinum, US Gold, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. We've got Black Tiger. Uh-oh, this looks especially like Spicky Port Time. Black Tiger is a platform beat-em-up pitting you against all sorts of unpleasant characters. It transpires that three evil dragons have brought a nightmare of destruction to a peaceful kingdom. Sounds quite good fun, actually. Anyway, you as Black Tiger have decided to stop these boorish reptiles from having their fun. You must travel through many stages and across many platforms until you confront them. And you're armed with a mace and lots of throwing knives to do it with. There are lesser dragons, skeletons, blockheads, and a man-eating plant called Audrey, all trying to kill you. Luckily, there are also old men who you liberate from the clutches of the dragons. They, in their gratitude, give you better weapons and armour. Unfortunately, Black Tiger looks confusing, appears in only one colour, and sounds uninteresting. Character control is not good, and the whole game is unsatisfying. It's not a tiger, it's a bit of a dog, actually. LED Storm. Oh, the smell of the open road, eh? LED Storm lets you star in your very own road movie. You must drive as quickly as possible along a top to bottom scrolling screen whilst avoiding all the other road users. Your vehicle isn't armed, but you do have the ability to jump over and onto your opponents. If you land on them, they blow up and you accrue points. Other objects in the road include tins of fuel, oil, and other useful automotive products. Occasionally the road forks and you have to make a decision as to where to head next. You have an onboard computer which you may consult, but Mac, as he likes to be known, won't offer too much constructive advice. Your aim is to reach various cities. After each city, you drive off along a different coloured road. Graphics and sound are not impressive. Once more, they're looking old. Sadly, there also isn't that much to do in the game. The driving sequences do get monotonous, and the lack of offensive weapons is a frustration. Ghouls and Ghosts. Arthur is back. He starred in US Gold's Ghosts and Goblins. US Gold didn't publish Ghosts and Goblins, though. And he starred in Ghouls and Ghosts, and is serviced here once more. This time, old Artie must negotiate a horizontally scrolling landscape, which continuously disgorges rather unpleasant dead folk. Other hazards include vultures which swoop down and attack you, strange plants which spit, and guillotines which chop. There are 5 levels to overcome. You must make your precarious way to a forbidden castle. Once you get there, you'll need to do a lot of ladder climbing, pit jumping, and baddie killing. There are many items of weaponry for you to collect, and many points to accrue. Graphics are good, but are starting to look a little dated now. The sprites do move nicely, though. The sound effects, too, are starting to show their age. Spot effects are okay, however, there are some nice tunes are played as well. Overall, it wasn't particularly brilliant when it first came out, and it doesn't look any better now, especially on the AA Officers 6128 Plus, where we couldn't get the keyboard to respond once the game had loaded. Some compatibility glitch, perhaps? Probably. Forgotten Worlds. Yeah, lizards have taken over. Get them off of me. Yes, you, Mr. Ultra Cool. You must save the world from those repulsive reptiles. You have a jetpack and a rather weedy laser. And the lizards are just asking to be blown away. You gently scroll from right to left, blasting the geeks as you go. Get far enough, and a small newsagents appear. Take a break, go inside and stock up on extra lives, weaponry, cigarettes, and confectionery. Well, weapons and lives, certainly. You'll also find information on how to kill each end-of-level god in the papers you can also purchase in the shop. Graphics are great, the sprites are fast even if they are small. The sound is also good, it fills the air with shooting sounds. What more do you need? just a wonderful shoot 'em up. James Forgotten Ninja Ghost Leech. Also got Strider. Strider, you, has one out-of-date theme. You must infiltrate the Russian army and return to the West with all their nasty sordid secrets. The KGB will, of course, fight you every inch of the way. If you get past them, you'll battle your way through the icy Siberian wastes, then onto the Soviet jungles, and then back to Moscow. There you'll be met by the Grand Master of the Supreme Command of the upper echelons of the Red Army, bash his head in, and nip back to warmth and civilization. Whatever happened to Glasnost and Perestroika? The game is easy enough to start with. You find yourself with superhuman acrobatic powers, so you can outrun, outjump, and outshoot anybody foolish enough to try and hinder your progress. But as you get further, things change. There's a large ringworm, which will cause many a tear-strained face as it repeatedly ends your game prematurely. However, if you persevere, you'll realize that by skillful fighting and judicious running away, you can get past everything. The graphics and sound are great. Interesting colours, big sprites, and fine music will make Strider a rave. The verdict. Ghouls and Ghosts, reviewed in issue 52, 49%. Strider, issue 49, 80%. Forgotten Worlds, issue 46, 80%. Black Tiger is not reviewed, give it 42%. LED Storm, not reviewed, give it 45%. We have seen LED Storm in another compilation, I'm pretty sure. But we have not seen Black Tiger as yet. The AA rating, 72%. All a bit patchy, really. Ghouls and Ghosts, Strider, and Forgotten Worlds are all worth a go, but the other two less so. So we get to have fun with Black Tiger. Let's see. Oh, I haven't even set things up here. I forget everything. I have to wait a little bit then. I still keep my ROMs on my old PC. I haven't even started it up today. It takes a little bit to start up. It'll get there eventually. Eventually. Okay. Alright. Now we can get going. Make sure the window's got focus. Helps. Black Tiger. My friends at Tiertex. Capcom presents Black Tiger, copyright Capcom 1989. Programmed by Tiertex. Produced by US Gold. That's a title screen. Alright, move on. Joystick, thank you. There he is. Nothing hidden here. Looks like close range is going to be a problem too. Oh, turn around, dude. Ow. The snake just appeared below me. Oh, it has 15 coins somehow. Improve our firepower. What's up here? Okay. Yeah, I saw that coming. Oh no, we did. Can we just respawn back here? Hit him for me? Yes, we did. Oh, we missed. No hidden things. Fortunate. Oh, these guys. Ow. Yeah, this is fun. Oh, there's two more of them. Oh, another one more. Alright, level complete. Take bonuses any. You jump forward. You're always going forward. Oh, hard to see anything when everything's one colour. 1,190. Wow. No, we can't do that. Uh-oh. Oh wait, we've been here. Where did this fire come from? Oh! Oh! Of course, go this way. Obviously! I remember we got to jump the other ways. Onto a pit. Money. Okay. Oh. Oh, jeez. I'm running out of time eventually, aren't I? Huh. Dead. We get time back. We do get time back if we die. So that's something. Now where to? Line jump. Okay, we can hold the button, that helps a lot. Jump. Oh, no more of these guys. Generate you until you die. Like that. I only had 4 seconds left anyway. Kind of light on time here. bonus is any. Alright, stage 3. Tile set here. Oh yeah, of course there's a plant right here. $1,600. Jump? You jump? Hope for jumping would be the wrong thing to do. Oh boy! Blind jumps into spikes pits. There's 4 right left of it, wasn't there? This. And jumping off it is the wrong thing to do, because that happens. Oh, this is awful. Game over. Do we get continues? Probably not. Nope. No continues. Oh, that's Black Tiger. Got 3 stages of it. I really want to play it again. So. Anyway, we'll move on. Alright, next. As expected, a brilliant game. Challenge. Okay. Alright, next game is Kickoff 2 by Anko. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Here we go, here we go, here we go. The passion of the World Cup lives on in the football sim. A game format with the advantage that you don't even have to go outside and get muddy playing it. Footy games were in abundance last summer when the World Cup was in full swing. So is Anko too late with the release of Kickoff 2, or has it scored a last-minute goal? Kickoff 2 is the follow-up to Kickoff, a game released just 6 short months ago on the Amstrad. The new version promised to add many new features to the game without losing the excellent playability of the original. There are plenty of options on the screen to choose from. The best thing to do is ignore them, at least for the first few guys, while you get used to the system and how to play the game. On pitch, you have a bird's eye view of the action. The whistle goes, and they're off. The action is fast and furious. The ball is always central to the action, and the screen scrolls rapidly to accommodate it. The player currently under your control is marked with a white line that follows him around. When control switches to another of your team, the line jumps to that player. You control to the player nearest to the ball. The control remains with that same player for a while, but after a time switches to the nearest on your team once again. The system works well most of the time, but it can be annoying when there's a player just millimeters from the ball which you are unable to take control of. All the rules of our national sport are included in the game. with the possible exception of the goal robbing offside rule. Corners, throw-ins, free kicks and penalties are all there, as are substitutions and fouls. After you've recovered from your first few beatings, it's time to browse through the options. You can choose to play single matches, international friendlies, which is the same as a single match, just with big team names, a league, or the cup. The league and cup matches each place 8 teams against each other in the different types of competition. The results can be saved for continuation later. There are plenty of variables to be adjusted, 4 types of playing surface, 5 skill levels, 4 wind strengths, and a number of options that can be switched on or off. Another feature that sets Kickoff 2 apart from the crowd is the individual player statistics. Each player has a number of attributes that affect the way he plays, even though you're in control whenever he has the ball. For instance, a slow player will be easily caught, and you'll need to make sure that you can pass before it's too late. The greatest criticism of Kickoff 1 was the dismal graphics, put directly across from the spectrum and using a dyed choice of colours. The game was just about scraped a measly 13%. Thankfully, great improvements have been made in Kickoff 2. 13%? Oh, it got a lot more than that, didn't it? Overall, at least. Anyway, the graphics are designed for the Amstrad, and while they don't exactly set new standards, they look a hell of a lot better than they did. The players are still quite small, but are now multicoloured. The pitch, not surprisingly really, remains green, with white markings. The 2 teams are always red and blue, despite the country they hail from. Curiously, the red team's goalie is also in blue, though the blue's keeper retains the true team colours. This can confuse things when the action reaches the goal area. There's no tune, and the effects are limited to whistles and the bouncy ball sounds. In fact, the bouncing ball gets irritating as it's constantly happening, and you soon feel that it'd be better if there were no sound effects at all. Kickoff 2 is simply the most playable footy game to date. While it's still not as polished as other soccer games, it represents a big improvement over the original version. If you somehow manage to miss out on buying a soccer sim over the summer, then it's not too late. If you did, it's worth considering anyway. First day target score: beat the computer at its own game. Second opinion: Kickoff on the 16 bits was a truly excellent game, so Kickoff 1, when it appeared on the Amstrad, was a bit of a disappointment. And go ahead and put right the graphics with 2, though, and produced a fast, playable and fun footy game to rank with the best. The verdict: graphics 67%, huge improvement over the original. Still not state of the art. Sonics 24%, spot effects which are more annoying than anything. Grab factor 79%. Controllers easy to pick up and there's much to master. The computer will thrash you at first. The staying power 90%. 2-player mode keeps you coming back. Lots of options and plenty of control subtleties. A rating 86%, all the playability you could ask for in a soccer sim. Okay. Take the title first. Alright. Oh yeah, it's not in English. Sure, I found an English version of this. Give me a moment. That's right. That's right. Only English versions are heavily protected and don't run. I'll just stick with the French version. At least it runs. To recapture now. Okay. Speed this up. Put in the turbo continuer. Whoa. Which means. That's right. I remember that. That's right. I gotta go for the options here. I do it on the keyboard controls first because it does not default to joystick. It's QAOP and C for reasons. Controls here. Joystick. Now you can use joystick. I use player one controls for whatever reason. Can't use both. Duration. 3 minutes. 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. Controls are very laggy here for reasons. It's only a menu. It shouldn't be hard. Terrain normal. Humid. Synthetic. I don't know. I'll stick with normal. I'll stick with everything normal. It's fine. Match simple. International amical. One player. Not a lot of choices here, is there? 8 teams to choose for. Choose. Oh, the Netherlands are supposed to be good. I have no idea what this means. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Where's my dude with the white line? Come on. It's not that one up there. Okay. God, I hate these ones that you don't keep the ball when you turn around. Okay, I accept that. That's fine. Ah! How do you control the ball for these? It's annoying. Frankly, they seem to have hard aim. Damn it. Ah. Damn it. God damn it. Gotta wait for the player to get to the ball. Get there eventually. There he is. Here we go. Got the ball. Got the ball. Got the ball. Oh, we're so far in front. Camera couldn't keep up. Oh, God. Well, we're not losing. Oops. You can fault him from, you can fell him from that distance, huh? Corner. Oh. Got the ball. Got the ball. Oh. Damn it. Yeah. Don't tackle him from behind. It doesn't work. We got the ball back. Oh, God. How are you supposed to just... Oh, God, move so fast, you easily go around the ball. Oh! That was close. Continue. Run. We get to go downwards. I think it'll make it even better. Jeez. Where did this guy come from? Oh! Oh, okay. I thought there was a goal for some reason. wasn't it? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no. Oh, boot. Well, you can't tell what's happening because you can't tell which direction the screen's scrolling. Oh. Oh. What are you kicking that way for, you idiot? What? What? God damn it. Oh, God. Trying to get on the ball is really hard to be precise. Trying to get the ball off the opposition is even worse. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Camera could not catch up. When it scored a goal. Couldn't see it, but it happened. Oh. Oh. Damn it. And they score again. Couldn't see it go in the goal, but it happened apparently. Well, they gotta do it again. And it. I had enough of this. Foul everyone, come on. Come here. Penalty! Oh no. I saved it. I think. Yes. Oh, god damn it. And there goes another one. It's all coming at once. Oh, jeez. Whee. Tackle him till they're dead. Penalty again? Oh. Ah. I'm giving away penalties without even trying now. How are you supposed to dribble the ball? It's really difficult. Before, though, couldn't aim for anything. And all of a sudden, it's like... Oh, god damn it. Corner. Thank you. Corner. Thank you. Corner! Damn it. It's supposed to be precise. It's not. 6-0. Wonderful. Eh. Well, that was fun. Alright. I think I'll stick with Micro Pro Soccer or something. We'll move on. Alright, next. Next game is Snowstrike by US Gold. $10.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Cocaine, the devil's dandruff. By 1998, supplies of this drug were reaching epic proportions in the United States. The US government had to act. The president decided that military intervention was the only course of action. Where have we heard that before? You are a Top Gun pilot based on the USS Epics. Your war machine is the F-14 LCB Cosmos. It looks very much like the F-14 Tomcat, but it's more advanced. It'll need to be. There are squadrons of the latest MiG fighters loitering just outside radar range. These carry both radar and heat-seeking missiles. You log into the program using your name. You'll be able to save and load your mission statistics using this and your self-designated call sign, a la Tom Cruise. There are 10 missions to choose from. You can attack an enemy carrier, taking off from your own flat top. You can destroy things. You can destroy drugs factories and warehouses, drug-carrying cargo ships, or even cocaine refineries. 5 of the missions are land-based and 5 start from a carrier. There are skill levels ranging from beginner to expert. These regulate the amount of enemy activity you'll encounter in your missions. Even on the easiest level, though, you'll have to spurn the unwanted attention of a fair quantity of top-of-the-range Soviet hardware. If you survive the air-to-air combat, you'll have to navigate your way to the target. Stay low and find it on your combat radar, and scorching over it, flying air-to-surface missiles. These lock on automatically and hit the target wherever you may subsequently point your aircraft. Very useful if you're under attack from the SAMs that defend these sites. Jinking around the skies, chasing enemy aircraft whilst the missiles chase you, can get rather hectic. Luckily, you have a backseater. This is the guy who sits in the seat behind you. Yeah, thanks. It warns you of incoming hostiles and gives you the damage reports. He'll tell you which countermeasures to employ against enemy missiles, chaff against missiles and flares. Yes, they're fashionable in the US Navy. Against infrared guided missiles. In theory, the caliber of this dude is vital. That's why you get to choose him from a menu of 6 aircrew to join you in your vital mission. You can call up a picture of each man and a summary of his character and skill. None is perfect, and one or two have serious character defects, which makes you wonder why you should trust them with your life during combat. But in reality, all the men seem to provide you with the necessary warnings and data. Some are just ruder than others. One fellow is downright offensive. The comments made by the guys behind appear in the small text box. Uh, on the small text box on the instrument panel. This is also where they'll tell you off for firing too many missiles or using the wrong electronic countermeasures. You have a radar scope which indicates the positions of all bases and enemy sites. This screen automatically switches to combat mode when there are enemy aircraft present. Somewhat annoyingly, it presents the position of bases and enemies relative to the north rather than relative to your heading. This means that if something is directly above you on the scope, you aren't necessarily flying towards it. Rather, it's to the north of you. Once you have mastered the system, it works okay, and also incorporates a useful zoom in option to enable you to line up accurately on bombing runs. Another useful feature is the ability to view the progress of your mission from the control room back at the base or carrier. You can call up a combat report, global view, or weather update. You'll also view the back of some bloke's head. This might possibly appeal to F-14 flying hairdressers. The action is temporarily halted while you examine aspects of the mission and resumes when you have finished. US Gold is billing Snowstrike as a flying game rather than a flight simulator. The controls are similar to those of an aircraft, but there really is no airmanship required, and as long as you don't fly into the ground or get shot up, you should have no trouble. Taking off is just a case of applying power and restricting the gear. Landing is slightly harder, as you must approach the airbase at the right height and speed. The carrier, too, must be treated with care. There isn't too much room for error. Unfortunately, the 10 missions are all very similar. Basically, you must take off, fly to a target on the ground or sea, and destroy it with ASMs. You'll encounter enemy aircraft, which will always appear head on. These are easy to destroy with your AAMs. Once you have used up all 12 pairs of missiles, you must utilize the M61 Vulcan cannon. This has enough ammo for 60 bursts. Each burst is capable of taking out an aircraft. It is also the best way of dealing with incoming missiles. Forget chaff and flares, just swing around and hit them with a burst of 20mm fire. Having dealt with the narcotic-related targets, you head for your base or carrier. You will still be under attack from aggrieved drug-using MiG pilots, though. Down a few more and plonk your battered Tomcat, LCB Cosmos, on the deck. If you run into severe trouble, you can always eject. This sees you drifting down with a comprehensive instrument packet strapped to your chest. You must pull the ripcord, steer yourself towards the nearest friendly thing, and wait. Eventually you'll thump down to earth, naked but alive. The speed of the graphics is impressive. Clouds scud across your view with astonishing rapidity, and the ground features hardly dawdle either, despite the fact that some, such as the carriers, are very detailed. The MiGs are only ever seen from the front, though, thus spoiling the 3D sim atmosphere somewhat. Combat is limited to moving left or right and then firing. Ground targets are usually big and simple, but have definite 3D properties, so look better. They absorb a lot of damage before exploding, so line up early and keep launching ASMs at them. There is no in-flight engine sound. Missiles make a noise when launched, and warning tones sound when the enemy are in the vicinity. Otherwise, silence prevails. Many of the other sections, such as the funeral screen and the intro screen, have appropriate music, though. There are a lot of differing sections in Snowstrike, but the game itself is limited. Each mission is so similar to the previous one, and the combat isn't tense cat and mouse stuff, but simple bank round and destroy. Overall, Snowstrike lacks atmosphere. The static screens are great and the sprites fine, if sometimes a bit small. The sound isn't special though, and really the game's speed is its single most impressive feature. James Iceman Leach. First day target score. Complete one mission on beginner level. Second opinion. A good mix of simulation and arcade. Good fun to play without getting too heavy. Ultimately, though, you do get the feeling that all the missions are rather similar. Snowstrike Mission Report. 0900, we, Lieutenant James Leach and Radio Intercept Officer Brad Smarg, take off from the USS Epix and head 045 degrees for Colombian coast. 0923. A couple of bogies bounce past, spraying us as they go. We call bandits, Buster and bunt through to Mark II. We Fox 2 one of the lizards, an AMRAAM, and splash the other with a 20mm M61 Falcon. 925. Flying nap of the Earth, we IP the target. Before we can attack, we're eyeballed by another flanker. It fires, we drop our flares and roll over. The maneuver works. We do an Immelman and give the Sukhoi a winder up the tail. 0933. We viz the target, switch to ASMs and achieve a lock-on. SAM blasts up towards us, so we release chaff. We fire the ASMs, hitting the cocaine roof 6 times. It explodes and covers the Colombian countryside with snow. 0936. The RIO victors us to the VOR, and the DME situated on the INS tells us the F-14 LCB's ETA is 9:45. Bogey's clear, we want to get home ASAP, so it's on and off we go. Wonderful. Figure 1. F-14. The Tomcat is arguably the best fighter in the US Navy. It travels at over twice the speed of sound and can destroy 6 airborne targets simultaneously at a range of over 100 miles. The other Figure 1, MiG-25. The MiG-25 Foxbat is the Russian equivalent of the F-15 Eagle, cousin of the Tomcat. Interestingly, the Snowstrike box bears a picture of an F-15, not a Tomcat. Jolly bad show, chaps! The verdict. Graphics, 82%. You'll feel the need for etc. Sonic, 71%. Not a great deal going on during the flight. Grab factor, 75%. Easy to get to grips with. Staying power, 68%. Missions are repetitive. AA rating, 74%. Have limited fun blowing up warehouses packed with icing sugar. Okay. Okay, let's get this up and running. Oh, I can't type. Alright. Okay. Oops. Can't type tonight, apparently. I'm going to look up the instructions for this so I can get there. So I can get controls straight, hopefully. Ah. Is that the music? Is that all of it? Oh. So where are controls? Come on. Keyboard commands. Select an item. Not applicable. Oh, that's a fire button. Select an item as fire button. Highlight an item. Use joystick. Pauses P. Cannot switch the radar off apparently. Gear. Landing gear is G. Radar zoom is W and E. Brakes are B. Throttle is Z and X. Chaff is C. Cannon is 1. Missile Harpy is 2. Missile is Fury is 3. Okay. For a game that doesn't promote itself as a simulator, there are a lot of controls. Shift E is eject. See how far we get then. Welcome to USS Epic's Master Control Panel. Enter pilot name. Set from roster. Schedule records. Do we have a roster? The roster is empty. Enter code name. Mission select carrier based or land based. I'm sure landing on land will be easier than a carrier. Free flight. Destroy drug laboratory. Bomb cocaine refinery. Demolish drug warehouse. Terminate drug transport. Okay, let's see what we can do. Skill factor, we'll start with beginner. Weather conditions, clear. Co-pilots. Jack Ashford, Harry Lodgson, James Johnson, Robert Clay, Sherman Dexter, Roland Rains. Review. That's Jack Ashford. Codename Cracker. Highly competitive. Recently demoted to co-pilot status for behavioural abuse to superiors. Harry Lodgson. Oh. Codename Hayseed. A true team player, relaxed and easygoing in flight due to lack of combat experience. James Johnson. Ooh, he looks angry. Codename Roll. Pulse's weight has been severely reprimanded and penalised for overindulging on leave. Robert Clay. Codename Yellow. Extremely cautious. Holds the flight record for least damage to jet and shortest missions. I don't know if that's a good thing. Sherman Dexter. Oh. Codename Digit. Technical genius. Whatever social skills are lacking are offset by his brilliance. Tendency in flight to state the facts. Is that what you want? Oh, okay. Roland Rains. Yes, he looks Yes. Codename Wild Man. Very unpredictable, ignores orders and strategic defenses, yet very effective against the enemy. Okay. Really states the facts. You might be a nerd, but whatever. I think that's the sort of thing you want. Okay. Okay. Up we go. Alright, it's landing gear up. So where were we supposed to head? Bogey sighted. Where? Flare is recommended. Okay, let's go. So assume the 191 is right below. Oh god. We're hit by the enemy. That didn't take long. So assume the heading is right below the compass. Flare's not helping, is it now? So where is this guy? Come on. Here we go. We killed something. So what are we heading for? What is our actual target? Oh. Is he faster than we are? So how do we know which direction we're supposed to be heading for? I have no idea who our target is. It's a pause. That's a Peter pause. I used to remember that much. Hmm. Very as if I did press the right key for that one. View indicator. What is view indicator? Oh, just looks behind you. So how do we know where our heading is? What are we heading for? Where are we drifting? Um, I think I should check his. Do we have? It's all in text, so this is. We're not going to tell us where the. Very easily what the instruments are. Diagram of instrument packet. Then it's not going to show us what each thing on the instrument panel is for. Right, so use the control room and your surface radar to find enemy surface targets. Fly out and destroy them with your ATS missiles. You may be intercepted by an enemy aircraft on the way. Control room and the global status map. So how do we look at that? Uh, Identify drug field. What does that do? Altitude too high for ID. Let's go downwards, huh? Fall. Let's go. Supposed to fly low anyway, aren't we? We're doing it at 16,000 feet. I assume it's feet. Still too high. Still too high. How low do you want the altitude to be? I'm confused. How do we find anything? I'm so confused. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's zoom in. It doesn't go any further out, does it? So altitude too high for ID. So how do we? Oh. Yeah, shoot or something. Shoot. Oh, enter. Enter does a thing. Oh. Global status. Okay, so that did a thing. Okay. Global status. Drug field suspected 2, identified 0. So does that map, is that, show us which way to go? Approximately? Hard to say. We'll try to find out, shall we? We want to head east. Okay. So yeah, I guess that highly detailed map on the left is where the fields are suspected to be. Well, they're to the north. Doesn't tell you what's what, does it? Guess if we head east, we'll come across something eventually. I the world's quietest airplane. I've known about this for a while. A little bit further northwards. If only we could go faster. We're at maximum thrust already, so yeah. We're supposed to stay low though. See radar. So let me check up on the radar screen here. Does this have anything on the... Service radar suite, approximately 400 square miles. Alert bases are green, enemy targets are red. Based on the 16-bit versions. Ah! Am I out of ammo? No, I'm not out of ammo. I've got 53 rounds left. Why can I not fire? Well, flares are pretty damn useless. Why are we going west now? We're going backwards. Fire, damn! Go flare count. Why can I not fire? Does this have the thing where guns can get damaged and just not work? Is that what's happening? Getting there. Speed up again. Speed back up. Bogey sighted. No, we can't fire at all. Can't fire at all. Can't fire damn thing. Another one? It's going to matter. Yeah, let's ram it. Never mind. Oh, he's back. Why can't we fire? Oh, nearly there. We need to get low. Oh, there's a thing on the... Altitude too high for ID. How low do you want the altitude to be? We had it down to 200 and it's still too high. Oh, ID process, here we go. Oh. 20 minutes. Pilot dead. Oh, yeah, we hit the ground. I think it's really low for ID. Uh-oh. We got a promotion. Yeah. I think there's something that's going to take time to learn. Yeah, we'll move on. Our next game is Sherman M4 by L'Oreal. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Let's face it, the Sherman M4 tank wasn't much good. The Second World War crews used to call them Ronsons after the cigarette lighters because, as the advert of the time went, they lit first time every time. Fire was always the greatest fear of the tank crews. The M4 had much of its ammunition stored inside the main body, and the results were often infernal. Also, the Sherman also only had a 75mm main gun and armour that would have trouble stopping a determined woodpecker. However, it was quite fast and mechanically reliable, and there were lots of them. Swarms of British and American Shermans overwhelmed the superior German armour which, though bigger and better defended, was seriously disadvantaged in terms of numbers. This grew the legend that the Sherman was something special. This game places you in command of up to 4 M4s. There are 10 missions to complete, 5 take place in Normandy during the landings, and 5 in the Ardennes. The long-range scenery differs in each setting. In Normandy, you see some lovely coastal views, and in the Ardennes, you see some hills. Using an overall map of the playing area, you direct your tanks by cursor to the targets. These might be depots, bunkers, flags representing strategic points, or villages. It's more fun to direct 3 of your tanks by map and drive the 4th yourself. Inevitably, German armour will appear. Your Shermans will defend themselves and might even win, but generally they're hopeless and miss all the time. The Germans are marginally better. You usually have to sort everything out yourself by wading in with your gun blazing and taking out every enemy tank. Unfortunately, combat is too easy. Your turret always points in the direction you are driving, and you can't change the elevation of the gun barrel, but it makes no difference. Just align the target using left and right and hit fire. They are always destroyed with one shot. The game is a little like Battlezone, with Second World War tanks. There are buildings and trees around, but these aren't big enough to use as cover, and they can easily be blown apart. When there is more than one tank in your view, the screen updates slow dramatically, and moving and firing becomes agonizingly sluggish. There are a wide range of modifying options. You can select unlimited ammo for your tank, instant reload, and unlimited fuel. You can also set the experience and morale levels of the Germans. It doesn't make much difference, you'll still shell them into tiny bits as soon as they come within range. Your own shields can withstand quite a battering, despite the far superior 88mm German guns trained on them. The graphics are good. You are, however, presented with a view through the drover's gunner's aperture. This is rather like peeping through a letterbox. The rest of the screen is black, but once you get used to the restricted view, you feel at home with it, and you'll get used to swinging the tank about to see what's going on around you. The 3D perspective works well, and the views of other tanks, gun emplacements, and so on are nice, if simple. However, there are German Tigers, Jagdpanzers, and Panzer IVs which are actually recognizable when seen fairly close up during a battle, if you know what they look like in real life. Sound is kept to a minimum, no engine noises, but great sounds of shells being fired and exploding into ferocious violence. This is very acceptable since an engine drone would become annoying after a while. The strategic element is spoiled by the game's simplicity. If you have no active part in the battles, but simply order your tanks from place to place, the sides are fairly evenly matched. But as soon as you start commanding one or more of the tanks in combat, you'll tip the balance strongly in your own favour. Each game takes no more than a few minutes to play. Most of this is travelling in a convoy from place to place. Watch out for one thing. To return to the game from map mode, you must hit escape. But if you press escape whilst in tank view mode, you'll quit the game instantly. This is bound to catch out the unwary. Overall, Sherman M4 is a disappointment. It looks good, it's generally fast enough, and it promises a lot, but it's just too simple. James Sticky Turret Leech. Second opinion. First day target score, destroy all the German armour. Second opinion. Disappointing after a while because you're expecting some serious strategic gameplay. All you end up with, though, is just another shoot 'em up, and a sluggish one at that. The verdict. Graphics 77%. Nice, but seen through a letterbox slot. Sonic 62%. Explosions are great, but that's about it. Grab factor 75%. Very easy to pick up. Staying power 56%, but too easy to win. AA rating 68%. Like the motorway, M4 does get monotonous after a while. Oh. Okay. I do not want to transition yet. Wrong button. Ugh. Now we can transition. Here we go. Campaign of Normandy. Mission campaign, level of realism. Allied forces begin the game. Mission number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Campaign. Mission number 1. Level of realism. We have unlimited ammo. We'll leave it at that. Unlimited from here. Fast loading. We'll see what's like normal. Humans 4. I remember in testing, I think I just blew up my own troops, my own tanks. Which is weird. Enemy parameters, experience minimum. Troop morale minimum. Okay, main menu. Alright, begin the game, let's go. Okay, so we've got a map screen somewhere. We are attacked. Pause, it's a pause button. How do we map? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 switches between tanks. They said escape quits. We'll press that. Oh, here it is. Sherman 1. This is our map. Enemy tanks are red. Flags are red. Enemy flags are red. So we've got our tanks here. with those. Okay, yeah, it's moving on its own. It's good. No command number for ourselves. Hope it's going in the right direction. Oh, right. We are attacked. Z? No? C? C. Okay, C goes to the map, obviously. What are we being shot at by? I have no idea what we're being shot at by. Back to the map. So we'll move this way. Go to this church here. We are attacked. The question is this one of my tanks or not? I do not know. Assume it is. We were heading west, so. So how do we know if a tank is one of our guys or not? We've been destroyed, yeah. So what are you shooting at? Something this way. That's the church, right? That's about you. What was shooting at us? What we were shooting at? Where are we now? Well, they're all gone quiet again, so. There's supposedly an enemy flag. What do we do with these? This is the church. Okay, our flag now. Wrong direction. Oh, we're under attack. It's shooting me. We go. Tree. Kill it. Yeah. Killed a tree. There's the flag. Destination reached. Yeah, our flag now. Okay. We'll do. Trying to be clever here. Huh. I got down there. I went in complete wrong direction. Okay. Take the flag. Can do that. Okay. Through we go west. Straight west. It doesn't take ages to get across the map. I suppose it's something. Another flag. Okay. Through there. Which way are we going? South, I guess. Turn around. Turn right around. We're attacked. Where you? Where you? Can't see anything. Oh, he's out there. Missed where we were heading. So yeah, this map is not all that big. He's over there. Oh. Okay. Or he due over all the way over this way. He's already moving. Here's the flag we're looking for. I presume this is what we're supposed to be doing. I have no idea. There's not been much else to, kill. Okay. So arrives where he's supposed to be going. Should be a. We are attacked from what? Oh. Dead. That was easy. Oh no, that's slowing down. Here we go. Fire, there we go. We got a camp here, right? Yeah, destroy it. Heading over. Yeah. He's here. Just head east. We are attacked. But what? Is a tree? Get it. Something hit us. I don't know what. Out of fuel. Uh-oh. Just keep moving. Before we run out of fuel too. What is after us? Okay, back to east. How the hell did I get over there? Did I use the wrong tank? How do you get up there? Okay. I'll go southwest. Let's go straight south. Oh, here it is. Here's some things to shoot too. Switch to here. Where are we? Through the church, we don't care, do we? Okay, it did nothing. All the flags are ours now. Yeah, I don't know what else to do now. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that. It's a. Oh look, another one. Okay. So yeah, we'll move on to the next. Got an hour left. Hope we can get through everything. So next game is SimCity. This is the last game, I think. Yes, it is. It's the last one. Okay, we should be okay then. Alright, last game for this issue is SimCity by Infogrames. $9.95 cassette, $14.95 disc. 5 minutes is a long time in politics. About 3 years to be precise. At least that's the case when you're playing SimCity. It's exactly what it says it is, a city simulator. Now that may sound like a bit of a daft idea for a game, but just wait till you sit down and play it. If you've ever felt annoyed about the local disco being turned into a bingo hall, or a car park being built in the middle of a local beauty spot, then now's your chance to prove... Oh, wrong. God damn it. I forget what that was set at now. Ah, damn it. So now, that should be... Is that better? It'll do. It'll do. Don't use mouse wheel on system. Well, the mouse is hiding on the system tray. Alright. If you ever felt annoyed about the local disco being turned into a bingo hall, or the car park being built in the middle of a local beauty spot, then now's your chance to prove how you'd handle the situation. As the town's new mayor, there's pressure on you from all sides. You're well and truly in the hot seat. Mind you, in SimCity, you're given almost godlike powers and, more importantly, a $20,000 budget with which to build and run your city. It's down to you to make all the decisions, where to put the roads and buildings, at what level to set the taxes, and where to develop housing, commerce, and industry. You start off, though, with a barren landscape. It consists of ground, forests, and water. Obviously, you can't build anything in the water, and forests need to be knocked down before building can commence. There are three types of development that you can build. Residential blocks are where the people live. Commercial centres are where offices and shops are based. Industrial zones are where the factories go. As well as these basic social building blocks, you'll need to provide essential services to keep everything ticking over. Roads and public transport allow the citizens to get from A to B. Electricity is needed too, so power lines will need building. And of course, you need a power station, coal or nuclear, the choice is yours, to put power into your national grid. You can't just slap the whole lot down haphazardly though. Well, you can, but the population won't like it. A successful city needs careful planning. You need enough factories to keep the residents in gainful employment, so that they will support the commercial centres, which in turn ensure that industry can sell its goods. It's a very finely balanced equation. Get it wrong and employment will sour, shops will shut, and factories will close. You don't actually put up these buildings yourself, mind, you only designate what sites are to be used for. It's up to the people themselves to decide whether it's worth building or not. So if you do set aside an inappropriate plot for commerce, then no one will move in and it will remain desolate and empty. People like to live in nice places. Coastal areas are firm favourites and have picturesque lakeside settings and dwellings in forests. Build a residential area next to a nuclear power station or a smelly factory and it won't be a popular place at all. Basically, however, the nicer the place is to live in, the more expensive it will be to live there. The same applies to industry and commercial enterprises. The better they're served, the more they'll be sought after. And the more prestigious the area, the more you will make in the way of taxes, as the people living or working there will be rich. Housing has to be provided for poor people too. So if all the housing available is in the form of luxury apartments, people will become disillusioned with the sky-high house prices. Instead, you can make a few slums for the scallies next to factories and the like, but the ungrateful geeks will then complain about pollution and things. You just can't win, can you? First thing to do is give your town a name. This will probably depend on your mood. You could name it after your hometown or even call it Swindon. Next, select the level of play. The difficulty determines how much dosh you get at the beginning of the game and how fussy the public are. The easy level is indeed easy, and after a couple of plays, you'll go for hard every time. The landscapes the computer generates are different every time for every game, and all the scenarios take place on islands, so there's plenty of potential for coastal resorts. Inland, there's usually a good mix of forests and lakes, providing homely settings for your citizens. 4 pull-down menus sit at the top of the screen. These cover a number of functions, such as providing maps of pollution, crime, and traffic problems, allowing budgets to be set, or for the masochistic only, switching on disasters such as earthquakes. Directly below these options there is a selection of items which can be laid down onto the landscape. Residential areas, power lines and airports are among the building blocks available. Next, there's a general status panel telling you how much dosh you've got, the date, and also informing you of the requirements of the townspeople. Messages, presumably from your advisors, tell you of problems that the city is facing. The remaining portion of the screen is taken up with the playing area. Here is a large-scale map of the city at work. You actually see the buildings change as the sites are developed. Traffic jams are shown as a series of little blips on the road, and miniature trains chug along the tracks. Before you start to build your brand new city, you'll have to select some suitable building sites. To get your city up and running, you'll need a power station with electricity cables, and some kind of transport system, and of course, somewhere for people to live and work. These are the basic requirements and form the starting point for any city. As your small village becomes a sprawling metropolis, you'll face more and more problems. The rising crime rate will need combating, for example, and sooner or later the citizens will demand an expensive sports stadium. To see just how popular your policies are, take a look at the evaluation option. It's usually quite depressing. Control is via keyboard or joystick. You can get by using one or the other, but a combination of both is best. The numeric keypad serves as a set of hotkeys. You can select most of the options just by tapping a key, and the cursor keys can be used to scroll the map around. This makes for a quick and convenient method of zooming all over the place without having to resort to fiddly icon control. The game does suffer in the graphic and sonic departments. The landscape look boring and are drawn in the most horrendous choice of colours imaginable. There's very little in the way of sound either. Then again, neither is very important for the type of game. SimCity scores very highly indeed in the playability stakes. It's a very unusual idea which works wonderfully well. There's an addictive quality that just keeps coming back again and again. It's not the sort of game you could quickly play for a few minutes, though. Mind you, compared to the real thing, it all happens very quickly indeed. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but with SimCity you could certainly have it rounded off by the end of the week. First day target score, build a city in easy mode. Town planning tips. Build railways instead of roads whenever possible, especially in residential areas. It's more expensive but eliminates traffic problems and pollution. Everybody likes to be next to the sea or lakes. People like to live there. Commercial enterprises like nice settings, and factories like somewhere to dump their chemical wastes. Keep industry away from the other zones. It's a vital part of the city's infrastructure, but nobody wants it on their doorstep. You may well place your power stations here too. If there's going to be pollution, keep it in one place. There is a way to cheat, however. It demands concentration, otherwise it can backfire you. The budget is set at the beginning of the year, however it can be changed at any time. All the taxes are collected at the end of the last month. Set the tax rate to 0. People will come flooding into the area along with industry and commerce. When you reach December, though, select the budget option and push the tax rate as high as it will go, a massive 20%. As soon as the next year comes around, we set the rate to 0 again. That seems sneaky. Second opinion. The graphics could be better. They're rather mushy and poorly defined, but the gameplay itself is beyond reproach. It takes a while to get the hang of city politics, but once your settlement is started, the task of running it becomes incredibly absorbing. The verdict. Graphics 62%. Nasty colour scheme. Poor graphics. Sonics 5%. Just the occasional beep. Grab factor 80%. Friendly system makes town planning easy for beginners. Staying power 88%. The most original engrossing game for ages. A rating 82%. SimCity is fun city. Yeah, fun city. Okay. Huh. SimCity, copyright 1989, Maxis Software. Probe, all rights reserved, and Infogrames. Input new city name. Oh, we got to do the difficulty first. Difficulty first. Easy. Creating landscape. Let's call it Hayesville. It's fine. Let's stick with the default name. Got a little pointer. More residential zones needed. Residential, okay. It's road. Well, we need electricity first, right? Which is this one. Power station. Look up here, behind the forest. I don't know. Select type. Stick with coal because it's cheaper. Okay. Stick industrial stuff here. Ow. That's a beep. Fiscal budget. Tax rate 7%. Go with these figures. Oh, it's changing the. We'll keep it at 7. Well, we have no police force yet, or fire department, or anything like that yet. Okay. Kicked up their power. Get a few more. Okay. Take our road here for particularly no reason. Beep, beep. Okay. Oh god, stop building the road there. Okay. Do we have a map thing, don't we? Exit menu. Options. Auto bulldoze, auto budget, sound. Not much sound really. Fastest windows. Maps. Here we go. Okay, so we are stuff. Okay, I see. Okay. Oh, jeez. Up quick. Scrolling is. Oh, okay. You just use the cursor keys to move up. That's nice and easy. Okay, so we'll stick a residential area over here since I like the coastal areas so much. So I need commercial zones. Okay. I've got the power. Power. What? Roads. Oh, things are happening. Oh, I got tax collected. Some more residential stuff here. Oh, all those things are happening. Citizens demand police department. Ah, that's what we want. Can't stick it there. Okay, stick it there then. Still needs power. Guess you might put a fire department in there as well, just to keep them happy. Fire department needs funds. Budget. Fund level 100%. Maybe get some trains, some train tracks here. There you go. Cash flow plus 18. Woohoo. More transport around here. Ow. Beep. Beep. Nice little trainway going through the forest. Where's the tracks for train to appear? Because it doesn't have to be a circuit or anything. Alright. Another commercial zone just over here. We've got space for it. People like parks. Stick park space over here. Stick it along here too. What is M? What's a big M? Oh, it's a stadium. Obviously. Small residential areas over here. Seems good. Running out of money, but eh. Get some roads up there. Sure would help. Okay. Add one more commercial zone just down here. Some more residential areas up here. Road to go along here. I'm going through the park. Here we go. The people want a stadium. Oh, they want a stadium. How much are they going to cost? 3,000. We're not going to last long with this, are we? Okay. we're going to be there. There you go. You got yourself a stadium. Because it needs power. Anything else that people want? We have to start raising taxes in a bit. I'm sure they'll love that. Some more industrial things here. Spending all the money. Brownouts detected. Uh-oh. We're using too much power now. Does that mean we need another power station? Ugh. Increase that tax rate. Look at 9%. See if they'll hate us for it. We need another power station. 3,000. That's going. We're going to be out of money if this happens. Keeps up. Do we really want it that close though? Let's extend our railway network while we're at it. With what little money we have left. Yeah, we're out of money. Maybe we could cheat. It's got the same cheat every other port of this game has. I might do. 10%. Oh, let's see what our valuation is. Texas, 28%. We're doing a good job. Yes. Oh no. Guess I don't like the taxes. Population 10,544. Man, crazy because we need the money. Brownouts detected. Still. Maps. That's it. Power. I don't know if adding more power lines helps or not. $910 in tax, that's not a lot. Okay, well, if people don't know the taxes, we'll choose the tax rate again. It's the amount going into transport. Brownouts detected. Transport system falling apart. That didn't take long. uh, I got breakages in the tracks already. That didn't take long. Do we have to bulldoze it first? Annoying. Yeah. What am I doing? Don't push button. Transport. Transport system falling apart. Well, I think this might be where it's ending. Taxes are still the worst thing, apparently. Is the mayor doing a good job? Oh, approval ratings improved. Population's gone down, though. Category. Town. Category. Guess I have to up this some more. Look at 95%. I can't make it go worse, could it? apparently. Oh. Yeah. Transport system's still falling apart. Don't get enough money. It just destroys itself somehow. They keep fixing things, so they spend money anyway. Got losing money now. Can't afford anything. Oh, look at all that mess. Can't afford to fix it. Oh. If I remember this, the cheat. You just have to hold the keys. Hold the keys. That might not work. Okay, that's probably not going to work then. Oh well. You know what we've got to do then? We've got a disasters menu for a reason. Time to flood it. Unfortunately, there's no Godzilla option, which is a shame. So I don't see any floods happening here. Air crash. Not that there's an airport anywhere nearby or anything, but that won't stop anything, will it? Oh, maybe not. Tornado. Tornado detected. Yeah, the tornado's not anywhere around here, huh? There's the earthquake in. There we go. Just wreck the place. People want a stadium. Yeah. Don't we have a stadium? Yeah, it's still standing. Right here. Some power there. Now, what sort of job am I doing? Oh yeah, 0%. Yes. Fire is the worst thing. Is the mayor doing a good job? 0% yes, 100% no. Good. I think I'll leave it at that for now. We had fun. Alright, let's move on. That was the last review, I think, for this issue. So let's get on with reading the rest of the magazine. That's Amazing Spider-Man. And tell us the Amiga screenshots. Got the skeleton health bar. Balrog. Lots of homebrew quickies this month. Plus all the regulars. Battling through the various dimensions, the Balrog rose to ponder on the marvels of the worlds of adventure. News. Topologica Special. Last month's Topologica offer is still open, so you can buy any 3 Topologica games for only £27. The games available are Action, issue 29, 69%. Avon, issue 51, 87%. Monster of Murdak, issue 11, 75%. Countdown to Doom, issue 26, 59%. Return to Doom, issue 35, 70%. Last Days of Doom, issue 62, 82%. Giant Killer, Kingdom of Hamel, Philosopher's Quest, issue 26, 58%. And Hizaran. To take advantage of the offer, just send Topologica a check for £27. The offer closes January 1st. Paw Pictures. Gillsoft have finally released a program that lets you write graphic adventures. A new upgrade allows any adventure you have written, which is about 2.5k of TPA space available, to have disk-based graphics added. The package allows anything from 2 to 20 lines on the screen to be reserved for graphics. The remainder is then turned into a text window for the game. The package is supplied as 3 extra programs and is available only as an upgrade by direct mail from Gillsoft. At £5.99 plus £50 P&P, it's an excellent addition to the Poor Authors library. More Magic. I've recently completed Heavy on the Magic and have searched everywhere for the next game. Can you tell me if Gargoyle Games did a sequel to Heavy on the Magic? I've written to them, but to date have had no reply. E. Heather Radike. Although 3 follow-up games were promised, Collidon's Pile, Tombs of Tarot, and Paradise Reglost, they never appeared. In fact, Heavy on the Magic was Gargoyle's last game. Homebrew Heaven. Over the past few months, the Belg's post bag has overflowed with new homebrew adventures written by various readers. There's just no way that the Belg has the space or the time to give all of them full reviews. However, the Belg has decided to write mini reviews for each game. A City for Ransom, £1.99 tape, £4.50 disc by John Peckham. Somewhere in London is an atom bomb, and terrorists are holding the city to ransom for a total of £5 million. The Prime Minister has decided not to give in to the terrorists' demands, but has instead sent you to find and defuse the bomb, due to detonate in 12 hours, taking most of London with it. J-Seed, by the same author as Panic Beneath the Sea, reviewed AA51, City is a better game. The scenario still isn't very original, although the actual game is well written. As with most GAC games, the graphics aren't anything to rave about, but as always, they can be switched off if you want. City is a good, logical adventure which should appeal to most. The Belg's version of City for Ransom had some minor bugs, but John assures me that they have all been rectified. Overall, it's well worth the asking price of £2, but it doesn't have any major selling points. Video World, £2, tape only, by Graham Perry. Imagine sitting in front of your television watching The Great Escape for the umpteenth time. Slowly you start to nod off, and before you know it, you're asleep. Suddenly, you're awoken by shouting, "Stand by, studio! 2 minutes! Makeup! Can you do something about our friend?" A powder puff is dabbed on your forehead, and people are shouting on all sides. By a quirk of fate, and not to mention a devious imagination, you have become an active participant in a new production, Video World. You are the star of the show. After a few minutes exploring, you will find that you are on the set of a POW compound, complete with perimeter fence, tunnels, German guards, and, of course, a Steve McQueen look-alike. Video World is the oldest yet most professionally produced game on offer. It was originally released way back in 1987, and Graham has decided to sell it again. The game is text only and was written on the Quill. It comes in two parts. The first is mostly set in the POW camp, whilst the second is set in the London Underground. In both parts, you must escape. For some reason, the Pilgrim never reviewed Video World when it was first released, which is a shame, as it is actually quite good. The whole game is played as a scripted film, and this effect is well implemented. Whilst exploring Video World, you will visit Grange Hill, see the royal coronation, go to the Bank of England, and meet, amongst others, a Triffid, John Cole, the TV reporter, and Sooty and Sweep. The game is humorous and well written, and certainly worth buying. Don't be put off by its age. Z, £2, tape only, by Paul Robson. You're sitting down to play your favourite game when a poor quality pirate program appears which you can't get rid of. This is the threat posed by Madstar Satellite Industries, owned by Dr. Cryptic. You take the part of the controller of ISIS, the Institute for the Suppression of Inferior Software. You must save the world by destroying the transmitter responsible for this threat. Confused? So was the Balrog. What the transmitter has to do with my CPC and how the pirate program got on the machine, I have no idea. To help you on your quest, you have a droid called Z, Zetetic Enumerative Droid, which is controlled by a ZIP, Zetetic Instruction Passer Unit. By using this ZIP, you can swap controls between yourself and Z. This makes for some very clever puzzles where you swap between two totally different characters, a little like the robots in Infocom's Suspended. The scenario put the Belg straight off the game, and I gave Z a chance, and was pleasantly surprised. The dual character controller's original idea. It has only been used used once before on a CPC game, and the game area large, over 100 locations. Added to all this is the cunning 3D maze, give you a difficult but addictive adventure. There are even two versions of the game, depending on whether you use the male or the female toilet near the stairs. Bit of a rip-off of Liver Goddesses, methinks. The only problem is that the game may be too difficult. Some of the clues that it gives for code, which is needed to turn off the above-mentioned transmitter, are very obtuse or even misleading. All in all, a good game to buy if you like difficult games, otherwise stay clear. Ghost House, £2.99 tape, £4.99 disc, by Andrew Price. While glancing through a local newspaper, you read a small article detailing the history of an old haunted house which lies at the top of Cemetery Hill. You are a ghost hunter, Buster, and decide to investigate. The object of the game is to search the grounds and inside the house for the parts of a seal to stopper the genie's lamp. Ghost House is a GAC, but with some poor graphics. It's well written and would be a good game if it were not due to the lack of play testing. There are spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, and various bugs. The examining command very rarely gives a response, while drop isn't even recognised. The puzzles aren't too hot either, and Andrew has fallen into a fairly common trap. He has described all his locations as if they had just been visited for the first time. For example, in the moonlit garden you hear a rustling. There's only a black cat which scuttles into the undergrowth each time you enter the location. Another example is a location where it describes your torchlight illuminating the area. even if the torch is switched off or not even carried. The Belg sees many games that are ruined by lack of proper playtesting in ghost houses, yet another example. The ratings. City for Ransom, Atmosphere 60, Interaction 59, Challenge 62, Overall 62. Video World, Atmosphere 72, Interaction 63, Challenge 62, Overall 70. Z, Atmosphere 44, Interaction 69, Challenge 75, Overall 64. Ghost House, Atmosphere 32, Interaction 30, Challenge 41, Overall 28. Oh dear. The Typins, we hope you've been doing your finger exercises. Mad Balls, a bit of a biggie, but great fun all the same. Steer your balls around the maze, picking up the dots, but avoiding the things that kill you. A fair few features have been implemented by the program's author, Lee Barwick from Sunderland. There are a number of levels to test your skill at, and if you do well enough, you could get your name in the high score table. You have the choice of using keyboard or joystick. Left and right left and right. Fire makes you jump in the air, where you can levitate yourself to far off platforms. Here's one page. Here's 2 pages. Fake ROM, 6128 only. Fake ROM comes courtesy of Aussie reader Stephen Smith. It takes any machine code program and stores it in extra RAM. That's why it's restricted to 6128s only. It then pokes to a small routine into address BF08. The machine can now be reset and other programs loaded and run. A call to BF08 will now copy the code from extra RAM and reinitialize it. The routine at BF08 is fairly robust and will survive most forms of soft reset, including Control Shift Escape. Call 0 and the multi-phase reset. It will not survive the running of most commercial games or any programs that make use of extra RAM. The type of program that can be used is subject to the following constraints. It must load to 8000 or higher, and it must be 9K at least in length. Instructions for use. 1. Type it in. The machine code is not checksum, so use typewriter to make sure you get it right. 2. Save it onto a disk containing the program you wish to save to extra RAM. 3. The file name must be 8 characters with a full extension. Use *REN to change it if it isn't. 4. Run fakerom.bas. Follow the prompts. 5. The code can now be recalled after reset or running another program by call BF08. Fastbrot. Plot the Mandelbrot set at lightning speed, well, nearly, thanks to D. Catchpole from Sunny Scunny. The program can plot Julia's sets as well, and has plenty of options such as color cycling and a choice of quick or accurate plotting of the sets. Although it's certainly quicker than most, you'll still have time to take the dog for a 3-mile walk while you leave the computer to it. Look at the size of it. Another couple of pages. Storm warning. Why did James Leach get up at 6 a.m. to go to the muddiest part of Bedfordshire? The answer has something to do with a new software label, a slapped-up lunch, and an assortment of potent all-terrain vehicles. I wasn't ready for the world, not at 6 a.m. In fact, I was rather surprised that the world was there that early. And amazingly, there were smiling, cheerful people around, who acted as if they got up at this time every day. I met up with battle-hardened AA vet Trenton Webb, and we set off up the motorway. 3 hours later, we arrived at a particularly muddy field near Leighton Buzzard. There were a lot of 4-wheel drive motorbike-type thingies and Land Rovers around. A suspicion of what the day would hold in store began to form in my mind. It was confirmed when we were issued with aerodynamic waterproof suits. As we were shown to our Honda 4-wheel drive quad bikes, neither Trent nor myself showed the slightest fear. Hadn't we just survived an hour on the M25? We fired up the machines and set off at a cracking pace through a wood. I spent the next 40 minutes trying to keep up with Trent whilst watching his spine compress like an accordion when he hit bumps, rocks and trees. As we were shown to our Honda 4-wheel drive quad bikes, Oh, we did that. Yeah, we read that bit. We eventually stopped and dismounted. Trent was by now only 3 feet tall. Without further ado, we went on to the next event, Land Rover driving. Easy, but both Trent and I. Easy foot, both Trent and I. But it was not to be. The course we had to negotiate was akin to the surface of the moon. Our Land Rover nearly ended on its roof several times. Trenton's sound advice to me went along the lines of, we're all going to die. Next were speed trolls on more little four-wheel bikes. Trenton's aerodynamic head, painfully thin frame, and compressed spinal column reduced his drag coefficient to the point where he belted along, unassailable. However, next we had to complete the same circuit, but with a glass of water on a tray in one hand, trying not to spill any. Trenty slowed right down for this. I, on the other hand, didn't care and went right at full speed yet again. Didn't spill a drop, boast. We were totally unprepared for the horrors to follow. More Land Rover driving, but this time blindfold. I had to guide Trent around a simple course and through various gates. He couldn't see a thing and kept babbling about night operations in the jungle. Unfortunately, a few seconds later, a vehicle nearby backfired, and thinking it was under enemy fire, Trenton floored the accelerator and me. I wrestled with him for control, and we careened across Bedfordshire. By sheer luck, we halted just before we hit Milton Keynes. Scared? Not a bit of it. We were terrified. Last was the pilot racing. These were four-wheel driving buggies with scorching performance. Trent, by the time fully recovered, and myself were strapped in securely, and off we went. The high-speed course contained several jumps, and I could have sworn I bounced high enough to become a hazard to a low-flying aircraft. How much more of this is there? Is that it? Yeah, that must be it. New games on the block. With this heady, intoxicating mixture of excitement and naked horror, we had quite overlooked the real reason we were there. The Sales Curve, creator of the quality software by appointment to the Queen Mother, didn't you know she had a 464, was launching a new label called Storm. It will be the banner under which Swiv, Saint Dragon, and a whole host of other extremely promising outings will be released. Saint Dragon is a horizontally scrolling shoot-'em-up with a host of original features. It has attracted much critical acclaim on other machines, and the Stormlayers are promising it'll be as good on the Amstrad, but they would, wouldn't they? Swiv is a vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up. Storm promises awesome graphics, hordes of enemies, stunning speed, and destructive mayhem. Sounds good. Another game soon to be forthcoming from Storm is Big Run. You'll have to drive a super tough rally car in an off-road neck-and-neck race. Hang on, isn't this what we've just been doing all day? Also to be released in 91 is Rodland. This is either a nightmare vision of a country peopled entirely by Rod Lawton clones, editing everything in sight, or it's a cute game about fairies called Tam and Rit, who carry magic rods whilst negotiating a great many moving platforms. I only hope it's the latter. Saint Dragon and Swiv should be out before December, and we'll be first with the news, previews, and reviews on all Storm games. In the meantime, both Trent and I are undergoing therapy to conquer a sudden and irrational fear of motorised transport. Don't miss out! But prices for UK only. Free game when you subscribe to Amstrad Action. Lords of Chaos. Lords of Chaos. And Pipe Mania. 12 wishes of your favourite magazine plus a free game for only £19.20. International 3D Tennis. Treasure Island. Use your voice to locate the treasure. Wanted. Dead or alive, use your voice to outdraw the gunfighter. Cheat mode. over yet. Another bumper crop of hints, tips, and pokes from Uncle Phil. Defenders of the Earth. Oh, these font. This font is everywhere. Having trouble defending the Earth? I bet you are. To say the play was brisk would be an understatement. Tape owners can give themselves a bit of a breather with this poke from Defender of the Street, Graham Smith. Escape from the planet of the robot monsters. I know a couple of these robot monsters personally. I work for one. Excuse me. And the other lives up the road. I'm sure neither would be too pleased to hear me say that, but then that's robot monsters for you. Give my regards to the people at the DSS. Graham sees them off with the usual zeal, using his tape poke. Guardian Angel. A last minute poke from Andy Price down in Dunstable, who has stumbled on this new Codemasters game and chose to offer a number of lives to fight with. Make mine Alistair Crowley, Genghis Khan, and Jack the Ripper. Periscope Up and Snowball in Hell. Ian Purdy of Gateshead is the chappie to thank for the next couple of hack attacks, Periscope Up and Snowball in Hell. He gave up some valuable revising time to put these two pokes together. Let's hope it was the right decision to make from your point of view, Ian. Yeah, things change when you're a Snowball. The last place you want to be is in hell. However, fireproofing at the ready in the shape of infinite lives comes Ian Purdy. All of a sudden, you do stand a chance of winning. Space Rider. Collecting gems can be a real problem in a world where everything is out to zap you. Ever been shopping down Oxford Street? Anyway, infinite life makes their discovery a bit easier. Infinite cash would be nice. This tape poke is from Graham. I'm quite a gem myself. Smith. Future bike. On your bike. In Westminster they spell bike BMW. But this is no place for political satire. In the future, your trusty 10-speed will look like Afterburner, and lampposts will be made of rubber. Trick cyclist Graham Smith rose to the rescue. The tape version gets infinite lives. Fantasy Wheel Dizzy. I can't imagine why we have never had a poke for Dizzy 3. Fantasy Wheel, there have been just about everything else for it. Anyway, Belfast John Gervin has supplied you with this goodie to post the little fellow with. Dynasty Wars. For all in the Joan Collins fan club, is a nice key press for Dynasty Wars from James O'Hara of Selby. Press Shift and 0 when playing and you slip casually into the next designer level. Pro Powerboat Sim. David Higgins of Ballygluman, County Galway, has discovered the key press cheat for Codemasters, Jason Falkus and Optimus Software Pro Powerboat Simulator. Press Escape to pause the game, then by pressing the keys 1, 2, Z, X and space, you get infinite lives. Well done, Dave. I knew Jason had shoved one in there somewhere. Pirates. Another tip for Pirates fanatics out there from Rachel Jones in Preston. We don't see a lot of ladies here in cheat mode. Who suggests that if when you attack a town, the gold has already been spirited away. What to do is march by land to another town, attack that, then march back to the first and attack it again. This time they will yield all their booty. Another clever idea is to only marry the women that are being courted by the dukes. It will make your rank at the end of the game much higher. To do this, it helps if you pick wit and charm as your special skill, but only do it if you are competent enough at fencing to manage without that. Terramix, the complete solution. The complete solution to Terramix, supplied by John Hillier and Jeff DeGoey, is with us at last for a game that has been around since the days of dear departed Bobby Wade. Will Eye Strain save the world? Will the world get Eye Strain? Do I know what I'm talking about? Megabucks. John Hillier and Jeff Legoy, or whatever, have been reading AA31 again and have phoned in the telephone numbers for Megabucks, just in case there are any gamesters out there still tearing their hair out. They've also discovered that on rest stand, tape owners can use the old trick of winding the tape forward instead of loading the next level. Yep, it seems that whatever level you wind to will load in, and not that there's a terrible lot of difference. MiG-29 Soviet fighter. Here are some tips for Codemaster's MiG-29 Soviet fighter from Chris Martin of Hawley. Fly as low as possible and keep moving back and forth from left to right. This way, you very rarely get blown up. When you get a H-bomb, do not press fire immediately, but save it until the helicopter comes into view. If you miss the H-bombs, there's no need to worry. Simply change the weapon to missile using space and press fire when the chopper appears. And the bonus levels, staying as low as possible will give you more chance of picking up parachutes. Emotion. A couple of months ago we had a cheat for emotion. Now Darren Adams of London has expanded on it. Type Moon Unit in the title screen, then R will advance 1 level, F will advance 10 levels, T will advance 1 level, G will moves back 10 levels, and V will self-destruct back to level 1. Thanks Darren. I think if I remember correctly, do not advance past the end of the game. I think it's 60 levels or something. I think the game just crashes or something. Lost and Found. Here's something a bit different for you to think about. There's this geezer down in Essex who has plenty of games lying around collecting dust because he can't find cheats for them. 3 of them are Flash Gordon, Catch-22, and Werewolves of London, which sadly never found their way into cheat mode. Can anyone out there find a poke or a key press, etc. for these? Rest assured a treasure trove awaits. And while we're about it, any other special requests? Get the mailbags ready. This might just be your chance to get the poking you deserve. Ooh. Myth, history in the making. Kevin Hoy of Bootle, Merseyside, has been mything with myth, history in the making, and produced the complete solution to this absorbing game. We've got extra pages, Kev. They'll all go in together. Yeah. Bloodwitch multi-faced. The ultimate and multi-face pokes for Bloodwitch on disc has arrived from Paul Stewart Williams of Broomhall. Start by selecting one of each of 4 groups and colours and save this party to disc. You have to calculate the pokes for yourself from this table. What you need to do is add the start number of the character and to the poke number which will supply the effect you are after. Then poke that address with the poke number. Got it? No. Remember the numbers are hexadecimal. And if you have difficulty adding in hex, use the computer. And just to finish it and me off, Paul has supplied a poke to change your location when you get stuck. Fine work, Paul. My head aches. And got a cheat mode index again. Public domain, free for all. That woman, Caroline Lamb, is back again with a usual mix of news, reviews, and acid observation from the bustling public domain scene. You gonna look at anything? Antarctic seabird. Well, how else would you describe a penguin? Okay, so you could also say it was a PD library operating from Woking, and of course, you'd be perfectly correct. Penguin Software is a new PD library run by Dave Carter. See, a heartening tale. David's managed to gather together a very impressive collection of PD programs from various sources, including some programs that he has written himself. The other nice thing about the man himself is that he has no hang-ups about people ordering programs from his collection with the idea of people including them in their own libraries. In fact, he is prepared to give help to anyone who is considering setting up a new library. Each disc costs 50p for a single side and £1 for 2 sides. If you want Penguin to supply the disc, then bung on another £3 for every disc you order. If all this interests you and you want to pick up a Penguin, but 50p is all that stands between you and the workhouse, then phone Dave and ask him to send you a copy of his newsletter. Thomas. The most insulting version of Eliza you'll ever find. 17K's worth of data ensures that a conversation will last for at least 4 minutes. Addicted, a small multiple choice quiz that determines how addicted you are to computers. There's bound to be some question here that rings a bell. Bubbles.A&M, shell.bin. One of the best demos I've ever produced using Discovery's animator. 8 glass bubbles zip around the screen. Romanim. Easy conversion from normal numbers to their Roman equivalent. Headread, an intelligent header reader for tapes. Batman, Batman.scr, Batman.pal. One of the many TV logos I've produced. This one was copied by hand. Others on the disc have been traced onto plastic and then to the screen. AutoCAT. Used as the menu for most titles in the library, e.g. PSO2. Another disk menu program of which you'll find many. This one doesn't bother to read the catalogue, so it's a lot faster. It also has several features, such as the ability to read text files and recover erased programs. Euromap draws a map of Europe and also detects which machine it's running on. Music.doc plays Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata and also has a text file illustrating how to compose music from within a basic program. Handy. Small ads. Soccer Management Simulator for the CPC 6128. SMS works only on the Amstrad CPC 6128. Price £15, including PMP. Overseas adds £3. Checks postal orders payable to Serious Games. Hope that's on disc. Well, it says 6128, I suppose. Or games that you can buy if you have subscription. Or cheap. Afterthought. The AA team spares a fond thought for the month gone by. Autumn, season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. The leaves are turning colour and falling. The nights are drawing in. The clocks have gone back. People's thoughts turn to, hang on, this is the December issue. Well, don't forget that we wrote this stuff weeks in advance, but it's not too soon to be thinking about Christmas. Which is why we want you to send in your Christmas present list. We won't give you any of the things on it, of course. What do you think we are? No, instead we'll be giving away half a dozen ultra fabby Spectra video joysticks to an equal number of especially original readers. Those who send in the funniest, daftest, most original, etc. Christmas lists to the AA Prezi list compo at the usual address, okay? NB, we do not approve of anything rude or libelous unless it's funny. We can't guarantee to print all the winning entries because we have this sneaking suspicion half of them won't be fit for it. Another caption compo. Oh god, we shudder to think what you're going to make of this one. Address your gems to Crazy Caption Compo at the usual address. You could win one of those Spectrum video joysticks. Oh, this is the end of the best postcard. Ooh. For the karting compo thing. To the newsagent, Amstrad Action is distributed by Future Publishing. Dear newsagent, please reserve me a copy of the January issue of Amstrad Action due out on Thursday, 20th of December. If you're under 16, please get your parent or guardian to sign here. Flying this mission is like shaking hands with the devil. You in Squadron, that is totally not Tom Cruise. Absolutely not. Capcom was a registered trademark of Capcom USA Inc. Copyright 1990, Capcom USA Inc. All rights reserved. Puzzlenik. Sounds easy. Yeah. And that's the end of the magazine.